10 days and counting, ladies and gentlemen. 10 days and counting until the 2014 Longevity Convention this year in Anaheim, California, kicking off Thursday, April the 24th. Like the fella said, be there or be square. Well, it's the day before tax day. That means nobody's listening because everybody's freaking out. Everybody's at their accountants. Everybody's buried in their office with their head down and the lights off, crunching numbers and sweating profusely to try to figure out how they're going to pay dear old Uncle Sam. If this is you, if this is even remotely like you, then may I offer some advice. Longevity. The Longevity Company has created over 250 multi-million-dollar earners, over 250 people who are just like you. They're not any different from you. They don't have higher IQs. They don't have, rich families. They weren't born with silver spoons in their mouth, so to speak. They're just normal, average people who got sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke, and they did something about it. They took action. They joined Longevity. They learned Longevity's simple system of health and wealth recovery, and then they rolled that system out every day the same way that they rolled out their duties at their respective jobs every day. Now, you have to be self-employed to do this. You know, there's not going to be anybody cracking the whip, standing over you. There's not going to be anybody making sure you show up to work at time. There's not going to be anybody who's going to dock your pay if you take a 2-hour lunch. It's not like that. Being self-employed is different than working for the man. It's harder because you have to be self-motivated. It's easier because the rewards are 100 times greater than anything you could possibly secure with conventional economics, unless, of course, you are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar transnational corporation. You can retire with a golden parachute. You can absolutely perform unbelievably, horribly bad at your job, and when you're fired, you get a $10 million bonus. Well, that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. If you're that type of a person and you don't need longevity, well, you need longevity for the health, but not for the wealth. But if you are, in fact, among the 99%, the 99% in the world who are struggling financially, who find it hard to meet their bills, you know, there's more rent at the end of the month than there is check, then, you know, you need help. And look, don't feel bad, because you're not alone. I've been there. I mean, everybody's been there, more or less. Maybe not everybody, but the majority of people have struggled financially in their lives, and that's just the way that it is on planet Earth right now. So there is a way that you can lift yourself up. And, you know, like the fella said, within reason, what one person can do, another person can do. Now, you know, not everybody can run a marathon. Not everybody can lift 500 pounds like the world's strongest man. But everybody can have a successful longevity business because it's not a difficult thing to do. It's a simple system. You don't even have to know how to spell the word vitamin to have a successful longevity practice. All you have to be able to do is be open-minded and be coachable. And you have to be able to read. It helps if you know how to read. It really helps if you know how to write. But those really are the only two prerequisites. You have to know how to read and you have to know how to write. And if English is your first language, or if you have to know how to speak English. We're rolling stuff out. The company is rolling stuff out in Spanish. And that's going to happen with more and more speed right now. But the majority of all the longevity training and information is in English. So you have to speak English. You have to know how to read. You have to know how to write. And you have to be motivated to make a change in your life. If you're motivated to make a change in your life, if you're sick and tired of being broke, then longevity is exactly for you. And if you follow our simple system, in 3 months, I can show you how to make $1,000. If you follow my advice, if you join us, even if you're with a different team, if you become an insider with Dr. Glidden, and the insider subscription is open to any longevity downline in the world, can become a Dr. Glidden Insider. And as a Dr. Glidden Insider, you have access to our training. And the training that we have is awesome. It's easy. It's simple. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. It's easy breezy, lemon squeezy. If you can follow directions and apply what you've just learned, then you can have a successful longevity business. And I can show you how to be making $3,000 a month within 3 months of starting your longevity business. Now, would $1,000 a month help you at this point in time? Would that help you? Would that help you? So, you're going to spend $250 on nutritional supplements a month. That means you have $750 left over. Would $750 a month help you? Would it? How about $1,750? How about $2,750? The numbers keep going up and are limited only by your motivation and your dedication. Now, this is not an overnight success, pie in the sky, get rich quick scheme. It's not. What it is a tried and true, a time-tested, perfected business opportunity. No different than any other business opportunity. If you could find the money to buy a McDonald's franchise, McDonald's Corporation would not allow you to buy the franchise until you graduated from Hamburger University. They teach you how to make your McDonald's franchise work. You have to be taught how to do it. If you go to work for a law firm, if you go to work for an accountant, if you go to work for the chiropractor's office, if you go to work as a receptionist at a doctor's office or a dental hygienist, if you become a police officer, they teach you the ropes, right? There's stuff you have to learn how to do. Well, it's the same with this. There's stuff that you have to learn how to do, but it's not hard. It's easy. And once you learn how to do it and then you apply it, the world is your oyster, or so the saying goes. Your income is limited only by the amount of dedication and time that you can find every day. And that's another of the perks of longevity. It gives you time. Because you get to leverage other people's time, right? I mean, what would you rather have? 100% of your own efforts, 100% of the dollar amount of your own effort, or $1 on the efforts of 100 people. Which would you rather have? Well, I think you'd rather have the $1 on the efforts of other people. That's what longevity is. You build a network, and as the people underneath you build their networks, you get paid on the growth of their network. Because the growth of their network trickles up to the growth of your network, and so it goes. And that never ends. It never ends. Well, if the earth ends, if the world ends, then it ends, but it never ends. There is no point of diminishing return. There is no point after which, you can't make any more money. It's unlimited. And as you apply the system, and as you teach others to apply the system, and as you find people who want to do this part-time, not sometime, your business grows, and it continues to grow, and it continues to grow. And it's all right, so let's say you see the light, and you get on board with longevity, and you do the business for 20 years. And 20 years from now, you're making $800,000. Oh, let's be conservative. You're making $500,000 a year, which is very conservative, by the way. In 20 years, I should expect you to be making $500,000 a month. But let's say you're making $500,000 a year. That's right, I said $500,000 a month. But let's say you're making $500,000 a year. And then you decide, you know what, you want to enjoy life, you want to retire. Or, heaven forbid, you die. You're in an automobile accident. Somebody T-bones you at the intersection. Or whatever, heaven forbid. Your longevity business is willable. It's a willable asset. So, you choose somebody who's going to inherit your longevity business. So let's say the month that you die, your check from longevity was going to be $100,000. Youngevity was going to send you a check for $100,000 that month. Well, they send it to your heir that month. And then the next month, they get another check for $100,000. And then the next month, another check for $100,000. And then they get the opportunity to build the business too. Now, tell me that isn't the greatest thing since sliced bread. If gluten-free bread. If you have any other job, you can't will your job to your heirs. You can't do that. You're the CEO of Nike Corporation. You can't, have your son take over. Your son hasn't had any experience with it whatsoever, and then all of a sudden, the day after you die, the company's going to elect your son the CEO of Nike. It's not going to happen that way. That's not how it works in the real world. But with Youngevity, that's how it works. This is your Youngevity business is a willable asset. Whomever you want gets to take it over and pick up exactly where you left off. They don't start at ground zero. They start where you left off. And that's how you build a legacy. That's how you build a dynasty. That's how you build a financial empire. And that's what we are. We're empire builders. We're fortune builders. We're not just looking to make a couple of extra $100. I mean, that's what we tell you when you first start. Because if I told you how much you really can make with Youngevity, you wouldn't believe me. If you're interested in lifting your family up into building a financial empire, which is able to persist and grow for generations as an unstoppable financial juggernaut, and if the way that you make money and that your heirs make money is by helping people to recover their health, if that sounds like a good idea to you, what on earth are you waiting for? Join Youngevity, change your life, and it's as simple as that. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Canada when we come back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Welcome aboard. This is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back. Happy Monday, everybody. April 14th, 2014. If you're freaked out by your finances, join Youngevity. Now, if you found this radio show of your own volition, if you were surfing the Internet, if you stumbled across my stuff on YouTube and you were led here, then click on the Join Youngevity tab. Join Team Glidden Chat tab on my website. And then you can become a member of Youngevity, and in so doing, be in my Youngevity group, and my team will hold your hand and show you the ropes and help you learn how to be successful at this. If you came here on the advice of somebody else in Youngevity, some pre-existing Youngevity member, one of the groups in Baltimore, one of the groups in Miami, one of the groups in California, one of the groups in Utah, one of the groups in Colorado, wherever they are, get in touch with the person that turned you on to this show and have them show you how to become a Youngevity member. Because Youngevity exists as a group, a grassroots coalition of different groups all around the country. And because it's a network marketing business, the different groups in the company need to be supported appropriately. So if a group, some pre-existing Youngevity member, recommended you come to this radio program to get information about Youngevity, then get in touch with them to find out how you can get the products at the wholesale price as a customer, or how you can help us change the world as a business builder. Otherwise, fireyourmdnow.com is where you want to go. Click on the link that says Join Team Glidden. Let's go up to Canada and see what Daniel's up to. Hey, Daniel, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Oh, hi, Dr. Glidden. Thank you so much for taking my call. I have a friend that he has problem with his prostate and bladder. He doesn't really know for sure because he hasn't gone to the doctor, but, he has pain as he pees sometimes, not always, and he bleeds a little bit at the end, So he's taking the Healthy Start Pack and the Killer Biotics, but he's still the same practically.
So has it been diagnosed? I mean, has he gone to a conventional medical doctor and they've said, oh, you have this, that, or the other thing, or not yet?
No, he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. How long has this been a problem?
About 5 months, he told me.
So there's blood for 5 months?
Yeah.
Well, the most common cause of that, and it only happens when he pees?
Yeah, at the end, apparently this is what he tells me, when he finished at the end.
Yeah.
And sometimes, he told me also that sometimes he passes blood clots, like.
Yeah, so this isn't good. There could be a number of bad things that are happening here. Listen, Daniel,
yes.
Whenever anybody has consistent bleeding for more than a week from a part of the body where there shouldn't be any blood, that has to get diagnosed, because this could be prostate cancer, could be bad, could be something easy. But he needs to have somebody go in there and look around, give him some type of a physical exam, maybe do some blood work and check it out. That's what I would do. Now, in the meantime, in order to support and promote the structure and function of his urogenital system, which is what's necessary here, I would give him 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, 2 selenium, and 1 Prost FX. Actually, I'd give him 2 Prost FX per 100 pounds of body weight per month. That's 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, 2 selenium, and 2 Prost FX per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Plus, he has to stop the 10 bad foods. He has to do that. He has to stop that crap immediately. And look, he's got to go to somebody and have him check this out, because it could be a big bad voodoo daddy. And the sooner he knows that, the better. All right. I appreciate your phone call and your trust. Keep up the good. What part of Canada are you in, Daniel? By the way.
I am in Ottawa.
Ottawa? All right. All right. Is there still snow on the ground? I'm assuming. Yeah.
No, it's just they rained a couple of days ago, so it took it all off.
All right, maybe summer's coming. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call very much. Let's stay in the North Country and go to Wisconsin with Barbara. Hey, Barbara, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Barbara?
Well,
Barbara, hold on. I lost track of myself here. I got so wrapped up in the Canadian weather. We're up against a hard break. You stick around, Barbara. I'll pick you up immediately on the other side. Thanks so much for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is, well, you know what it is. Stick around. Big bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, ladies and gentlemen. April 14th, 2014. We're talking to Barbara in Wisconsin. Hey, Barbara, thanks for the phone call. What's up?
Well, I have a complex Lyme's issue for you.
How do you know you have a complex Lyme's issue? Is this you?
No, it is a family with 14 children. 5 of the family members have Lyme's disease.
I doubt it.
Well, this is the case. We have one child who has chronic, quote-unquote, Lyme's. She's had it for about 8 years. They keep putting her on and taking her off antibiotics. So she is in so much pain. Yeah. The mom, pretty much the same situation. The other 3, not as bad. The problem is we started them on the Healthy Start Pack, everything that you said to do in the Lyme's webinar.
Yep.
And it turns out that the girl with the chronic Lyme's is hypersensitive to any sweetener at all. So she gets this horrible headache when she takes the BTT. They haven't even touched the osteo. So what I was thinking is getting her on the plant-derived minerals, but I thought, you know what, if I get a chance to talk to you, I would prefer to hear it from you, how I should proceed with them. And finances are an issue.
Well, it's all right. So, as you undoubtedly learned through the webinar on Lyme disease that I did, it's virtually impossible to diagnose Lyme disease definitively. You can't do it. You could have just been bitten by a tick that had a Lyme spirochete in it. And we know that because we capture the tick, we kill the tick, we look under a microscope, and there's the spirochete. So we know that the tick had a spirochete. We know that you just got bit by the tick. And now you have a classic bullseye rash, and then you get fever and chills, all the signs and symptoms of a classic Lyme infection. We've got the tick. We do the blood work, and you come back negative for Lyme disease. It's entirely possible. It happens all the time. It's also possible that you could have been bitten by a Lyme tick 10 years ago, had minor reactions to it, fever and chills. You thought it was the flu. Then you got over it. You go in to the doctor 10 years later with an arthritic problem. They do a blood test, and you test positive for Lyme. So the ability to diagnose Lyme disease definitively was eliminated by the Center for Disease Control in the early 80s, if I'm getting my dates correct, because Lyme disease was a government-created illness. It happened on Plum Island, which was a tick-borne disease experimental center in Long Island. It was run by the military. The Lyme, they were generating tick-borne diseases that they could infect enemy, soldiers with. One of the ticks got out of the lab, and then Lyme started spreading all around the country. And in order to keep the government from being indemnified to indemnify the government against lawsuits, the Center for Disease Control made illegal the only test that's a definitive test for Lyme disease. Right. So it's possible that they have Lyme disease. It's also possible that they don't. Either way, they have chronic symptoms that need to be addressed. So we need to set aside the notion that it's Lyme disease and just focus on the part of the body that's problematic. So I'm assuming it's musculoskeletal, bone and joint connective tissue stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's all that we do. So we give the appropriate healthy pack. In this case, it would be the Healthy Start pack. The Healthy Bone and Joint pack. Selenium and glucogel appropriate for body weight. You might want to switch from the glucogel caps to the liquid glucogel. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, give extra calcium. The problem here is the negative reaction in at least one of these people to the artificial sweeteners that's in the Beyond Tangy. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So the first thing to do here is to switch to the other type of Beyond Tangy and see if they have the same reaction.
So what is the name of that?
Well, it's either the original Beyond Tangy is just called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. The new iteration is Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 Peach Infusion. The original bottle was blue with a blue top. The new bottle is orange with an orange top. So if she's got the orange bottle now, give that to one of her sisters or one of her brothers or her parents and switch her out to the original Beyond Tangy Tangerine and see if she gets the same reaction. If she does, then there's only one option for you to do. You give her the Ultimate Daily Capsules, 1 Ultimate Daily Capsules, and 1 bottle of freeze-dried plant-derived minerals it's a little tricky. So here, how much does this kid weigh, do you know?
She's about almost 100.
All right. So I would give her 4 Ultimate Dailies a day and 1 plant-derived mineral caps a day. I'd give her 4 Ultimate Daily Capsules a day, 2 with breakfast, 2 with dinner. And I'd give her 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals or 1 capsule of the freeze-dried plant minerals a day plus 3 EFA plus a day. So you can do the Ultimate Daily Capsules and the plant minerals as a workaround for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Now, the only problem with that is that's a honkin' big capsule, and it's going to be hard. It's hard for me to swallow it. It's going to be hard for, a girl who's less than 100 pounds to swallow it. So what you're going to have to do is get a mortar and pestle and pulverize the Ultimate Daily Capsule into a powder. Mix that into some yogurt or some applesauce or something and have her swallow it that way, because I don't think she's going to be able to swallow the capsule. They're too big. She could get a pill cutter, and she could cut the capsule up into 2 or 3 pieces and swallow each individual piece. That would also work. But I prefer getting a mortar and pestle and pounding it up and grounding it into a powder and putting the powder either in yogurt or in applesauce or in something. So 4 Ultimate Dailies and 1 ounce of the plant-derived minerals as a workaround for the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. She still needs the liquid calcium. She still needs the glucogel, and she still needs the EFAs and the selenium. So with allergic reactions like this or sensitivities like this, you want to just add each individual supplement one at a time and look to see which one is causing the problem. Now, nobody is ever going to have an allergic reaction to the plant-derived minerals. Not the cherry mints, the plant-derived minerals original formula, or the ultimate plant-derived minerals in a freeze-dried capsule form. Either the liquid plant-derived minerals or the mineral caps is incapable of generating a reaction like this. So I know that that's going to be safe. And given the fact that mineral deficiencies are 66% of your nutrient deficiencies, given the fact that they're struggling financially, this would be a good place to start with the liquid plant minerals and the EFAs, the selenium, and the Ultimate Daily capsules. And if that's too much, then you just want to lean on the plant-derived minerals and the EFAs. The plant-derived minerals and the EFAs, and counsel them to, get gelatin. Go get some Knox gelatin at the grocery store and have a couple of packets of gelatin every day in some warm water. And of course, Barbara, this is all built upon the notion that they can't even look at any of the 10 bad foods, right? Right.
And they're already all gluten-free, the whole bit.
Okay, all right, great.
So we don't have to worry about that part. So in the Lyme's protocol from your webinar, it also suggests the HGH Youth Complex and the Killer Biotic.
Yeah, well, no, don't worry about those.
Okay.
Because I'm not convinced it's Lyme disease. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But the first things first, on a limited budget, give them the minerals, give them the EFAs, give them selenium, and see how they respond, because they're going to respond to that. And then we just move and adjust appropriately. But really, with a big family like this, that must mean they live in a community where there are other big families. So I would, encourage them to grow the longevity business.
Right. And once they see that this is working, they are on board.
All right. Then lean on the plant-derived minerals. On the plant-derived minerals. That should help them at least give you a little foot in the door symptomatically.
Okay. Fabulous.
All right, Barbara, you're the greatest. Keep up the good work. I appreciate everything you're doing up there in Wisconsin. You're doing a bang-up job. Right? One more example of how conventional medicine has let people down. It's a whole family suffering. A whole family is suffering. They pay medical insurance premiums. Everybody has to now in the United States. You get fined if you don't. And what does that give you access to? A failed system of medicine. And it's nonsense. There's no other industry in the world that can deliver such unbelievably ineffective stuff and still be in business. Not only be in business, but still own the lion's share of the business. That's because it's not a free medical market. It's not. We don't have a free medical market. That's the only way that the MDs stay in power. If by some genie in the bottle magic, we all woke up tomorrow and there was just as many naturopathic doctors as there were MDs, if there were just as many longevity distributors as there were MDs, if there were equal amounts of research money given to the naturopaths and the homeopaths and the chiropractors and the herbalists and the acupuncturists as the MDs, if every hospital in the world accepted naturopathic doctors, chiropractic doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, homeopathic doctors, and it was all covered by insurance, if that happened overnight, within 3 years, MDs in general family practice would be out of a job. The only MDs that would still have jobs would be the surgeons, the military field surgeons, and the emergency room doctors. That's it. Because that's what MD-directed medicine is good for. Now, the MDs know that if there was an equal playing field, they'd be out of a job. They know it, which is why they keep my profession in the dark. By the way, hats off to the Maryland Association of Naturopathic Physicians. Today, the governor signed the naturopathic bill licensing and regulating the practice of naturopathic in Maryland. Only problem is it doesn't start until 2016. I don't know what's up with that. That seems a little foolish to me. But in any event, one more state added to the list of progressive states that license and regulate the practice of naturopathic medicine. Gotta love it, even though the initials down there are MD from Maryland. They took it upon themselves the smart move of licensing and regulating the practice of naturopathic medicine. My hat goes off to them. Let's go to Washington right now. Maybe it's not Washington, D.C., it's Washington State, and talk to Elisa. Hey, Elisa, thanks for the phone call. You are live. What's up?
I'm trying to help a woman who has white dot syndrome, otherwise known as, I'm probably going to butcher this name, multifocal choroiditis and panuvetis. I don't know what it says. I can't pronounce it.
I've never heard of it. White dot syndrome?
Yeah, she said she's got white dots in her retina.
Oh, yeah, boy, that is ringing a really distant bell in the old corpus callosum of Dr. Glidden. I tell you what, Elisa, we're up against a hard break anyway. I'll do a quick Google search over the commercial break. You stick with me, and we'll sort this out when we come back. I appreciate your phone call. Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 14th day of April, 2014. Hey, hey, hey. It's also the luckiest day of your life because you've tuned in to Fire Your MD Now. Don't even think about touching that dial. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health, welcoming you to another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. We're talking to Elisa in Washington about white dot syndrome, which the medical texts describe as an inflammatory disease characterized by the presence of white dots on the fundus, the interior surface of the eye. The majority of individuals with white dot syndrome are younger than 50. Some symptoms include blurred vision and visual field loss. There are many theories for the etiology of white dot syndrome, including infections, viral, genetics, and autoimmune. So whenever the MDs don't know what the heck's causing it, it's autoimmune, it's genetic, or it's viral, right? Yeah, it's nonsense. So let's bring Elisa back. Elisa, are you still with me?
Yes, I am, Dr. Glidden.
All right, so look, one of the great things about what we do with Youngevity is that all that we do, regardless of the diagnosis, regardless of the complexity of the illness or the simplicity of the illness, is we provide foundation medical nutrition strategies which support and promote the body's ability to optimize its structure and function. Now, so in this case, the recommendation would be a protocol to support eye health, right? We don't need to know what causes this. The MDs don't know what causes this. So what we do is we lean on the fundamental notion that the human body knows how to fix this. The human body wants to fix this. So we give the human body a leg up in that direction, keep our fingers crossed, and see what happens. So how much does the person with the white dot syndrome weigh, do you know?
I don't know. It's a coworker of my husband.
If you had to guess, 200 pounds, 150, you have any idea?
No, she's, I'm guessing she's probably like 120 to 130.
All right. So here's what I would do for, I'm sorry about that, for 60 days, 90 days, 3 months, 90 days, 3 months.
Okay.
Once a month for 3 months, I would order the following. 1 anti-aging healthy start pack as the original formula. 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, original formula. 3 bottles of selenium. 3 selenium. 1 ultimate daily capsules. 1 ultimate daily capsules. And 3 boxes of triple treat chocolate. How about that? 3 boxes of triple treat chocolate, 3 selenium, 1 ultimate daily, and 1 anti-aging healthy start pack. She needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods, and she needs to increase her consumption of antioxidants to between 50 and 100,000 ORAC a day. Between 50 and 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. Now, in this program, she's going to be getting about, well, in one Cell Shield RTQ, which is part of the Anti-Aging Healthy Start Pack, there's 8,000 ORAC. In the Beyond Tangy Tangerine original formula, there's about 6,000 ORAC, so that's 14,000 ORAC. She's going to be getting 4 boxes of chocolate a month. That means she's going to be able to eat 3 pieces of chocolate a day. That's going to give her 51,000 ORAC. So that's all she needs. She just needs to do that program and then eat food into the bargain that has a lot of antioxidants in it. So like curry powder, cinnamon, walnuts, dark-skinned fruits. Have her do a little homework for food that's high in antioxidants and be leaning that way, right? So switching from white wine to red wine, she gets more antioxidants. Switching from coffee to tea, she gets more antioxidants. So she should be focusing on more antioxidants as she goes down the road of life, eliminating the 10 bad foods and getting on board with those nutritional supplements every day. And that's really a really good place to start. And I'm going to bet you 25 cents that inside the first 4 weeks, something in her body-mind brightens up remarkably. Might not be the white spots on the eye, but her mood, her energy, her appetite, her sleep, something's got to improve, and it's got to improve in a remarkable sense. When we get... Go ahead, yeah.
I have a question for myself, too, as well.
All right, real quick. Yeah, shoot.
Okay, I'm breastfeeding exclusively. I had a baby 4 months ago, and I got 20 pounds to lose, and it doesn't matter if I exercise or not. I can't lose any weight.
Well, the only thing that makes people gain weight is they eat too many calories, and the only thing that makes people eat too many calories is their body is nutritionally starved. So your body is forcing you to eat too many calories in the desperate attempt to fill the nutritional tank up, but the food that you're eating doesn't have what you need. This is a simple solution, Elisa. So have you done the Healthy Start Pack?
I've been on the Healthy Start Pack for 2 years, and I increased my dose to 1.5 Healthy Start Packs.
All right, you stick around. It's a hard break. I'll pick you up at the beginning of the next hour, and we'll work it out. Appreciate the phone call. Hour 2 coming up, folks. Stick around. It's April 14th, 2014.